Let's just jump right into it, Mr. Williams. Tell people the reason that you're on my show today.
Well, first of all, we want to give a shout out to Tangi uh, Davis for giving me an opportunity to meet you. I am here today because I am what is known today to be considered a miracle today. Reason being is a little under 2 years ago, I was given just 4 months to live.
Wow.
I had a rare, evasive, aggressive cancer that had what the medical terminology will be called as a cancer that had some intelligence. After being given 4 months to live, my wife and I, we went on a journey we turned down all traditional medicine, and we ended up in a situation where the cancer, and I'm the only known survivor of this type of cancer in the U.S. today. The hook to my story is that we turned down all traditional medicine to fight the cancer. So just going back a little bit, this is not my first battle with cancer. When I was 18 years old, I had cancer. I had what is called lymphoma, which is a cancer of the lymph node cells. And I ended up at that age getting my going into the doctor. I had a really, really big knot in my neck and went into the doctor, and the doctors did a biopsy, and they came back and told my parents at that time that I had this stage 3 lymphoma.
Wow.
And they told me that it was that I had to be rushed, and they had to take my spleen out of me, and then they shot me full of radiation. I went through that for most of my, and I just realized that teenage is all the way up to, 19?
Even 20, in my opinion.
I didn't know that. My wife had to make me understand it. The way I've been told, I'm told when you're 18, you're grown, but
Right.
Just because you're 18, it don't make you grown.
That's the fabricated truth.
That was a very, very, very challenging time in my life. There was a lot going on in my life at that time, and so for me to be hit on top of some of the other turbulence that was taking place in my life, for me to be hit with cancer at that age, it was very, very confusing. My support system was kind of limited at that time, and so I kind of just went through life. I kind of dealt with that. I went through that for those many years, and actually, I just realized here recently as well. Am I freezing?
No, you're good.
I just realized here recently that when you go through a trauma, I think that sometimes you block the trauma out.
Yeah.
And I just realized here I'm 51 now.
Wow.
But I just realized here recently that I blocked that trauma out, because when I got the radiation treatment back then, I ended up losing all of my hair in the back of my head. And radiation have a tendency to blacken an individual. And I got my radiation, I got it in my chest, and it blackened my neck, and it did a bunch of things, and it destroyed the muscles in my chest and the muscles in my back. So I'm here. I'm in my 50s now, and my muscles in my chest and in my back, they're just now waking up. They're just now, yeah. So the radiation never stopped working in my body.
Oh my gosh.
The radiation continued to work so much until in my 40s, it destroyed my thyroid. I don't have a thyroid.
Wow.
They had to take my complete thyroid out of me, and I've been dealing with these. 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 I've different scenarios for most of my life. But the thing is I didn't understand what was going on with me. You know what I mean? And I think that that's really, really a big thing. Also in our community, we have these things going on, but we have no knowledge and no understanding of what's taking place. So at the time, I didn't know. And so I continued on with life and, with limited mentorship in the streets, the whole drug thing, the whole using, selling, gun, all of it in the midst of me fighting or not having the proper health and mentorship in my life. On top of that, the trauma that I was talking about was I didn't realize that I was humiliated. The whole time that I was in my youth, my neck black, hair falling out. I had people around me, and you know how insensitive people can be. People used to make money. So my hair fell out in the back, right? So I had like this little cave, like this little round circle in the back from where the radiation had knocked all my hair out. And so I had one guy who I love today, by the way. I love him, but he used to call me Cave Cut. And I was dealing with these things and I didn't realize, but those things were shaping me.
Right.
Those things were shaping me, and it made me strong. It made me have thicker skin. I didn't know it at the time that these things were happening to me, but also it made me start becoming aware of my body. And I knew when certain things was going on with me. Long story short, about being 18 years old, I ended up getting really, really sick. I made up my mind that I wasn't taking any more of the radiation. I got really, really sick. My dad rushed me to the doctor. The doctors did some tests and came in back then and said they don't know what happened, but there was no more cancer in my body. So I went on with life, and then some years later, I started having some spotting when I in my urine, and I would have spotting in my underwear, and I began to talk to the doctor, and they began to kind of write those things off here and there. When this stuff was happening, they was writing it off as a bladder infection,
right, or a kidney stone,
or just whatever, kidney stones, bladder infections. And so this went on for a few years. And then a little, I don't know, maybe when I was about 45, 46, I met my wife. And we were just, we had got together, and then we began to plan our wedding. We were planning things, and so the blood started getting worse.
Wow.
So I would go to the bathroom, sister, and I'm standing over the toilet using the bathroom, and now I'm urinating out blood clots.
Wow.
The size of 50 cent pieces, back to back, coming out of me. I'm talking about too big to even come out of my urethra. That's how big the blood clots was. So I called my wife in. At the time, my fiance, I called her in and I said, babe, look at this. It was very humiliating. Who wants to show somebody they love something like that? And she looked at it and she was just blown away. And listen, if I can laugh a little bit now, but something like that come out of you, I could have just fell out right on the floor right there.
Right.
But we went on to the hospital. We told them, hey, you guys got to take a look at this.
Right.
Now remember, I had this trauma in my 20s.
Right.
18 I dealt with this most of my 20s. I didn't have a normal life because I didn't have, my muscles were collapsed. My hair was just growing back, all this different stuff, and I made it through that. And then now I go and get they do a test on me they go inside of you and they did a test and they checked my bladder. And what I found out is I had a rare bladder. My bladder was rare, and when they went in to do the test, they came back in and they said that we see cancer inside of your bladder. This is 2018, just under 2 years ago. So they tell me this, and then the doctor comes in and he says to me, the only way to get this cancer out, we can't get to it. We have to take out your whole bladder, and we got to take your prostate out.
Wow.
And I mean, this was traumatic. Me and my wife went to the car and we sat there. My wife, by the way, her name is Dana Reese. She's made me really grateful to have such a wonderful wife in my life. It's doing it again.
It's been freezing the whole time.
Oh wow! Can you? I don't know what to do, but keep going.
That's okay. It's all right. We got this lovely thing called edits.
And so we sat in the car for about an hour just crying. You know, here we are. We done planned our wedding. We done paid for the wedding over in Florida. We get married in Florida. After we leave Florida, we going straight to Hawaii. We done paid for all of this stuff, and then boom, we find this out. And we was devastated. So we sat in the car and we just, you know, it was just mind blowing full. And after about an hour, we just made our mind up that we was gonna fight.
Right.
And we went on a mission. So our goal was, we started doing our research. I'm gonna give a shout out to Sebi, Dr. Sebi, CB. We looked at some of his stuff, and then we put everything that we were studying together, and we decided that we reached out to Cancer Center of America. You know, of course, first thing pop up, Cancer Center of America.
Right.
We reached out to Cancer Center of America. Cancer Center of America told us in order for them to even look at my file, I needed $25,000. And in order for them to even take my case, I had to have a $250,000 retainer in order for them to even look at me. Yes.
And then they always asking for money, but I'm just not understanding that.
This is what's going on, sister. And I think it could have a lot to do with ethnicity. And the other thing is, I can tell you, is I believe that a lot of me being brushed off in the beginning about what I was going through had to do with ethnicity.
Right.
You got what I'm saying?
Right.
They wasn't taking me serious. And so me and my wife, you know, we said this is what we agreed to. We agreed to, I told the Lord I was going to give it to him. I was going to put it in his hand. But I told my wife and I agreed that faith without works is dead, that we was going to give God the problem. We accepted the fact that there was something going on, and we knew that there was an issue. And so what me and my wife said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to, with our faith and with what we said we was going to do, we said we're going to stop the cancer from moving.
Wow.
Until we can figure it out. So my dad, after Cancer Center of America said that they couldn't do anything for us, my dad mentioned something about the Mayo Clinic. So we reached out to the Mayo Clinic, talked to someone at the Mayo Clinic. The Mayo Clinic said, we'll look at your file, but you have to have $10,000 up front. And we said, bet, you know, God has been good to us. I'm blessed that way. And we got over there, and we gave them the $10,000. Wonderful doctors. They went in, they looked, and they said it's a really, really hard place to get to where this cancer is in your body. We believe that we can cut out 10% of your bladder and we can get the cancer. Well, after the man told me that they was going to take my whole prostate and my bladder out, I said, bet, if you're going to take 10%, then let's do it.
Right.
Got it set up. While they were setting up, me and my wife, we said we're gonna contain the cancer. So what we did is we cut all regular food out. We cut out all dairies and all sugars and all meats, and we cut everything out, and we began to go after only things that we researched that would fight cancer.
Right.
And these are the only things that I was putting in my body.
What did you
Much
eat?
prayer. Huh?
What did you eat? What was
well, a lot of this stuff is gonna be in the book. But
you
there's
froze
some
again.
Huh?
You froze again.
I don't know. I said a lot of these things are gonna be in our book, which is already getting ready to be released. But we did some specific things that I will talk about real quick. One of the things that we can say is we began to, in our mind, with our faith, we began to get downloads from the Heavenly Father. And so what first thing we did was, and we got an understanding, we have a better understanding of what fasting is.
That's right.
Okay, so the religious concept of fasting is fasting for, I don't know what purposes. I'm not against the spiritual or religious thought process. But what we said we were going to do is we were going to do a reset on my body. That means that we was going to cleanse everything that was in my body that had been in it, and we were going to reset my body all over again and contain the cancer. So we fast and we cut out everything. And we said, in my mind, I was sitting up one night and I was just talking. I said, I'm going to suck off of things. It lives off of acid and it lives off of different scenarios, right? So what we did was we began to put things in my body like turmeric. You've heard of turmeric before?
Yes.
Turmeric, it reduces the DNA and mutation of cancer. So we knew that turmeric was a strong tool. We knew that ginger was organic ginger was one of those things. So we began to use high volumes of these things. And one of the most important things that we realized, because after we did our research, we realized that the body was made up of alkalinity. Okay, so we said, okay, we're gonna find as much alkaline that we can find. Now listen, your body is made of alkalinity. So if you fill your body with alkalinity, sickness can't survive inside of it. So what we did was we began to drink lots of alkaline water. I mean, I was filling my body with it, constantly fleshing my body out on a regular basis. So we did alkaline, we did the fasting, turmeric, we did ginger. You know, we just started cutting a lot of stuff out, and there's a lot more, and we're going to share all of these things because we just believe that we can help people. Right now, we're working with about just throwing this out there. Right now, we're working with about 15 people around the country. What we've decided to do is, what we've learned is that people that's fighting against ailment, if you can just fill their body with nutrition, then the body will begin to reverse the ailment that's in the body.
Right.
So what we do is we deal with individuals that's fighting terminal illness, and we find out what it is that they're fighting against. And me and my wife, we put together, or we design a nutrition plan for them that's focused specifically on the area that they're fighting in, because that's what we did for my body.
Right.
And that's what we've been doing to help people out. So to jump back into what happened at the clinic, instead of taking 10% of my bladder, they had to take 20%. And they took, not only did they take 20% of my bladder, they also took 20 lymph nodes from my body. So we stayed over at the Mayo, we got out of there, after the major surgery, they cut me, took 20% of the bladder out. At that time, they said I didn't have to get any chemo or radiation at that moment. I didn't, but they said that it wasn't off of the table. So we stayed in Minnesota, and something just wasn't right. Kept having issues, kept having to go, couldn't go to the bathroom, was sick, just everything was going on, and went on for 2 months. And then 2 months later, we found out the cancer came back. Not only did the cancer come back, it spread it. Wow. It spread it into the lining of my stomach, the complete lining of my stomach, and my whole left rib cage. And so we got over to a doctor in Wisconsin, who's now a friend of ours, and the doctor comes into the office. We're going back and forth to the doctor. Mom and dad's with me, my wife. We're sitting in the doctor's office. He comes in and says to me, "Lorenzo, what's your plans for the next 2 to 3 months?" All right, that's the look I had too. And we said, well, what do you mean? What are you saying? Well, what's your plans? You need to get your affairs in order. Because legally I have to tell you that you have 6 months to a year to live, but we don't believe you'll make it past 4 months.
Wow.
We can offer you chemotherapy. We can offer you more chemo, but we don't even think on the type of cancer that you have, it's not gonna work, but we can give it a try just to see what happens. And my mom, my dad, my wife, we were all just sitting there, and the doctor said, I'll give you a moment. He walked out. I got up and walked to the window, and I just cried for a moment. And then I turned back to my mom and my dad and my wife, and I said, don't nobody speak this into the air. Nobody speak this into the air gates. I said, I'm gonna keep fighting. And me and my wife, we came out of that doctor's office. My wife said, I'm gonna make this dude a believer. And we went hard. We went hard. We went back a couple of months later, and the cancer started shrinking. Wow. Started disappearing. We kept going back. We kept going back, and the cancer just kept shrinking and disappearing. And the doctor was like, I don't know what's going on. Well, we don't have no explanation for this. So let me just run this down to you. So June 6th of 2018, I was diagnosed with cancer, with the bladder cancer.
Right.
I was supposed to get married, but we ended up, my wife said, before I had surgery, she said, we gotta get married. And I said, well, what's she trying to do? Get some money? I ain't had no money.
Somebody said, what's good?
But what she said was, she said, babe, we gotta get married because I gotta have some say-so when we're dealing with these doctors.
Right.
And now I realize that was the most wisest decision that my wife and I could have had, because those doctors was trying to play so many games and get me to take so much different stuff. And if my wife had not, if we had not gotten married right before I had surgery, she would have had no say so.
Right.
So this is one of the things that we want to educate our people on, is you have to have somebody to speak on your behalf if you're dealing with ailments. You cannot go up in that place by yourself and nobody have no say so.
Right.
If you do, it's very possible that you can be doomed.
Right.
You got what I'm saying?
Right.
So we got married. I was diagnosed June. We got married July 22nd. I had surgery July 27th. The cancer returned October 19th. Came back. And let me just my wife, I got one of those kind of wives, she keep me on point. So I'm grateful for that.
Way to go, wifey.
The cancer returned, October 2nd. And we left, we quit talking to the Mayo Clinic. We turned down all traditional medicine, and I was completely healed of cancer by 5/20 of 2019.
Wow.
Today, the doctors are saying at the Mayo Clinic, I had the head oncologist call me, seeking me out. They're seeking me out now. They want to know what we did, how we did it. We got people seeking us from all over the place. The doctor that told me I had 4 months to live released a statement, and in his statement he said that my situation, in his opinion, is a phenomenon.
Wow. It is. It's a miracle.
Never seen anything like this. The head oncologist called me from the Mayo Clinic, and he was joking, but he was serious. And when he got me on the phone, he said, "Wow, am I talking to you from heaven?" Wow. And I said, "No, I'm here." He said, "Well," he said, "Huh?" He said, "Thank you, sister." And he said that he asked me, was he talking to me from heaven? He said, because you're not supposed to be here right now. So there's no one has ever survived this kind of cancer. I can tell you the name of it. It's really a long, weird name. Let me see here, because I got my wife got it's called the name of the cancer is a evasive, poorly differentiated sarcoma with squamous and sarcomatous features. Wow. Now imagine somebody telling you something that you got something long like that.
You can't even pronounce it. Right. But God.
Listen. Right. And so much prayer, much faith, but we know that faith. I'm gonna tell you something though. We believe that 60% of my healing process was my thinking. I never received death. I never received it. I never received a man being able to tell me that I was doomed. Never received that before. And so we're on this path. This is my organization. See my little pictures in the back. But my organization is called Journey to a Better Health. And my wife's and our mission is to help educate people on nutrition, the power of nutrition, because I know that in our communities, we don't have a whole lot of knowledge of what nutrition is because of the type of foods that we've been presented for many, many years. And my wife and I, we're going to begin to educate people, but it's very important for us. We want to be proactive in health, but it's very important for us because we believe after what we've experienced, a lot of people have some controversy to our thought process, but we don't believe that there is a such thing as cancer. We don't believe that there's a such thing as diabetes. We don't believe that there's a such thing as any of those things. We believe that those are man-made names and those things cause fear. What we believe is that any ailment that a person has in their body is because they have a low immune system. They're lacking in nutrients. One of the things that we advise people to do right away is we advise people to cut dairy out of your life, and that ain't an easy one for me because I was a cheese lover. But dairy causes mucus. Mucus causes illness and inflammation.
That's right.
And if you have inflammation in your body, the inflammation can cause your organs to begin to shut down, which can cause all of these other diseases. So you have a lot of people that work out regularly, but they have no nutrition. But that's good, sister. But a lot of individuals work out, but they lack nutrition. You got what I'm saying? And so that's our goal. Our goal and our focus is to educate and build. And Journey to a Better Health is on a mission, sister. And so God has spared me. He has given me an opportunity. And I often say to people that, and some people don't understand this where I come from, because God made me unapologetically me. And I'm a very, very spiritual man, and I've always been a spiritual person. I'm not a very religious individual. What that means is I get up and brush my teeth every day religiously. And what I believe is, I believe in what we call the fruit of the Spirit. I believe in love, joy, peace, long-suffering, meekness. And I believe that if we exemplify those things within our lives, then we're already doing the will of the Father. And so I'm going to be me. I'm going to be loving, and I'm going to be positive about life. But we finna help people. And I would like it for people like yourself, and I thank you for having me on to even have a conversation about this whole subject matter.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so I'm gonna let you speak if you have any questions for me or anything.
Well, I want you to tell people, number one, the name of the book. It has it dropped? Is it dropping? Where can they buy it? And more about your organization. Okay,
so the name of my book, it hasn't been released yet, but we're working on it right now. My book will be released. My release will be soon. But the name of the book will be "Keep Living When Death Is the Prognosis." More about my organization. Like I said before, we just want to make sure that we can educate. We have created lots of nutrition meal plans and programs that we're going to be releasing on our website. And my website is journeytoabetterhealth.com, where we will be allowing people, like people that's fighting illness, that want our help. They can go to our website and get what we have there is a questionnaire. Mm-hmm. And with this questionnaire, we allow people to tell us what it is that they're dealing with in their issues. And then what me and my wife doing, what we're asking the creator for is to give us an opportunity to do this for the rest of our lives.
Right.
To free us. Right now, we're business owners in Wisconsin. Right now, I'm down in North Carolina. Are you in North Carolina?
Yes, I am.
This is where we are right now. I'm in Pinesville.
I'm in Charlotte.
Yeah. I'm in Pinesville, and so we'll be here for about another week because we have a couple of more interviews here. And but back home, I just shut down a car dealership. I own a car dealership. I shut that down, and then I've owned a tax company for the last 20 years. So I shut that down, the car dealership, and I became a locksmith. So I'm riding around. I was so tired of dealing with so many people on a regular basis. I just wanted to make a key and go home. And so I started a locksmith business. But my wife and I, our prayer is that God will release us from all of that and allow us to do this full time. Mm-hmm. We believe that this happened in my life so that we could give back and help others. Right. And we're just hoping that we get an opportunity to do that. And with doing that, we're going to be helping people with, like I said, nutrition plans, personal growth and development, thinking. Because I can tell you this: when a man walks inside of a room and tells a person that they have 4 months to live, it is mind blowing. I can see how a person would accept some information like that. And then what I can say is that once your mind receives that type of information, your body's going to line right up to that. And a lot of people have been leaving here because of those type of things.
That's right.
And we believe that we'll probably get some controversy because let me tell you one thing about chemo. Chemotherapy does a lot of damage to the body. Mm-hmm. When they put chemotherapy inside of a person's body, the chemotherapy goes in and it kills all of the bad cells, mm-hmm. but it also kills all your good cells.
Right.
So if the cancer was to come back on an individual, they have nothing else to fight with.
That's right.
So what we want to do is, we're not telling people to not do whatever decision that they make. We're not telling people to not do chemo, even though we don't agree with it. We're not telling people to not do radiation treatment, even though we don't agree with that.
Right.
What we're telling people is, no matter what you decide to do, you have to fill your body with nutrition. Mm-hmm. So our mission is to teach people about filling your body with nutrition, and culturalistically, that's something that we've lacked in our community for quite a very long time.
That's right.
And so that's what we believe that we're going to fill in that, and that's what our mission is to do that. We want to do that. We want to deal with personal development. We want to deal with nutrition. We want to deal with healthy mind thought process. I'm gonna tell you what else we found out. We found out that it doesn't matter, even individuals that's dealing with mental health, mm-hmm. Retardation, mm-hmm. any of those things. If you would fill those people's bodies with nutrition, mm-hmm. even a person that's dealing with mental health issues, their body can begin to regenerate itself and resolve some of those issues. Wow. If you put the right nutrition in their body. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so these are the things that we gotta get to in the community. And so we're looking for people like yourself to just support our mission. And we're on a positive scenario. The proof of the pudding is in my life from what happened to me. And we just looking for to build a community where we can begin to share these things and help our people.
That's right. Amen. So,
amen. Yeah.
So people where they can follow you and link
Okay.
in with your organization, because that's very important for the Black culture and the Black community.
Absolutely. So there's some stuff that's still being built on our behalf. This stuff is happening. It's just been less than 2 years that all of this stuff has kind of happened. And so our website is up, but it's being matured.
It's under construction.
Well, it's under construction, but it's up, and the person can go there and they can reach out to us. So we have our website is Journey, the number 2, a better health .com, right, honey? Yeah. Okay. Oh, see, she's right here with me. Yeah. It's info at journey, the number 2, a better health.com, and then Journey. She laughing at me. and then Journey, the number 2, a better health.com. Okay. And we have a Facebook presence that we're building now, and we're learning the social media presence. To be honest with you, Tawanda, right? Tawanda. To be honest with you, we just now getting me back.
Right.
We've been fighting to get me back, and now we're on the mission. They can reach us at info at journey, the number 2, a better health. .com, and the website is the number 2, a better health.com. And if they want to have, if anybody have any questions for us, if you reach out to us, my wife and I, we will respond. Just understand that we're working to build this thing out, but we're willing to help anybody we can to become better.
Is this okay? So I know Facebook. So what is the name for Instagram?
That's what we're working on right now.
Okay.
We're working on that right now. We're building all of that out right now.
Okay.
And all of that stuff will be built out here shortly. I got some people that's helping me out on those type of things. I'm kind of new to that this lifestyle.
Oh wow.
Scenario. So I'm new to this.
And that's all right. You gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, I'm new to this. Tangi speaks so highly of you, and she really wanted us to talk with you. So I'm really honored that you took the time out to do this as well.
Thank you.
Is there a way that we could get back to you with some of that information?
Yeah, you can email me at Tawanda, TAWANDA.Blake, BLAKE @gmail.com.
Okay, you got that, Ms. Williams?
@gmail.com or interruptedblogs@gmail.com.
Okay, we got your site for that.
Okay.
And I friend you on Facebook as well.
Okay, cool, B.
So hopefully we can stay in communication with one another, and when the book comes out, hopefully we'll let you know and all
Oh,
of
definitely. What you're doing right now, you're right in the middle of a pandemic where people are looking for something more. You know, you got people with COVID who's dependent on something more than what doctors are telling them, or that healing process is very long. And everything that you said, that's like alternative lifestyle or veganism, as some people would put it. So everything that you mentioned, I've heard 1,000 times just for different scenarios, and you're absolutely correct. So you have a product that people need right now. So we're definitely gonna stay in contact. I want to help you push that book. Once you get your social media stuff going.
We're actually right now I'm in training for my social media presence, because we're going to start a show, and we're going to be talking about some of these issues, and my wife and I, we're going to be sharing a lot of nutrition plans for people and meals that we create to help people to with their nutrition movement. And that's one of the things that we're really concerned about with people is the whole COVID thing, because people don't understand that this thing is really, really serious.
It is.
And in our opinion, it's an agenda. And people are not ready for the agenda. And what we keep trying to tell people is we don't care how many masks you put on. If something's airborne,
right,
there's nothing you can do about something that's airborne. Right. So what we want to do is we want to get people to understand, once again, the only true way to fight against something like that, the only true way is to build your body with nutrition.
Right.
And we're telling people right now, one of the things that we believe that people need to cut out of their diet with what's getting ready to happen, because it's finna happen.
It's getting ready to go down.
It's getting ready to go down. And, you know, most of us understand that there, in our hearts, we believe that some of this is agenda. Mm-hmm. And we think that people should we need to cut dairy out. Mm-hmm. Because we need to do whatever we can do to eliminate ourselves from mucus.
Right.
So we need to let the dairy go, leave the dairy alone, cut the fried foods out. You know what I'm saying? Because those things are harder for you to breathe.
Right.
I mean, let's just be really honest. I'm not saying that nobody hasn't had these type of situations happen to them, but a lot of individuals that they're saying that ends up with COVID, a lot of individuals have underlying health issues already. Right. You got what I'm saying?
Right.
And if you already have sleep apnea, and you're already overweight, and you already have asthma, and you already have all of these ailments inside of your body, on top of that, you don't eat properly, and you don't have nutrition in your body, how can you fight something once you go inside of the hospital?
Right.
The scary thing is once you go inside of the hospital, when COVID is at high rate and they doing it, no one can even communicate with you.
Right. Right.
You can't have any visitors or anything.
Right. And it's only a certain window of opportunity to where they can help you fight it. So, you know, it's a lot of education. It's a lot of,
exactly.
You gotta get prepared and protect yourself.
So what we want to do is, even with that being said, mm-hmm. we want to let people know that there's nothing you can do to fight against something that's airborne. Right. The only thing you can do to protect yourself is to fill your body with nutrition. Mm-hmm. Nutrients. Remember, your body is made of alkalinity, right?
Right.
Okay, so we drink what is called alkaline water. So you want to, whatever you're putting in your body, especially water, you want to make sure that you're putting at least a 9.5 or better of pH balance of alkalinity inside of what you're made of. Mm-hmm. You're made of alkalinity. So if you're drinking water that has acid in it, then you're drinking acid. Mm-hmm. That's what you're adding to your body. So that means that the water's not adding to nutrients to your body, it's taken away from the nutrients in your body. Mm-hmm. You got what I'm saying? So we have to learn these things, and that's the mission that my wife and I are on. We're on that mission, and we're just grateful for people like yourself. We had another wonderful couple. We had an interview last night. We were with some people here in your city, and we had a really, really good meeting, and it was wonderful because now people, like you said, mm-hmm. more than ever, people are looking for something else because they know that what we've been given for generations have never worked for us.
Right.
You got what I'm saying? Like we were talking about last night, like if you cook some vegetables, you cook greens, right? I love greens. We get a big old pot of greens with some hot sauce and put all that stuff in there, and guess what? Do you know where the nutrition is? The nutrition is in the juice.
Right.
It's in the juice. It's in the water. We cook all the nutrition out in the pot, and we take all the greens out, put it on the plate, and throw the nutrition out.
Right.
You remember when you were younger, you go in the store and you look on your mom and dad, they sent us to go get some lettuce. Mm-hmm. We go and get lettuce, and we look up at kale and be like, ugh. Right. Well, kale is full of antioxidants. Mm-hmm. It's the most healthiest vegetable. Well, guess what? Everybody else knew that but us.
Right.
You got what I'm saying? So now it's time for us to take care of us. Huh?
Right.
It's time for us. Yeah, absolutely. So that's what we do. We broth quite often. You know, we take all of the nutrient vegetables with antioxidants, my wife and I, and we boil those vegetables and we squeeze all of the juice out of them and we throw all the vegetables away.
Wow.
And we drink the broth.
Right.
Because that's where the nutrition is.
Right. That's right.
You
like
know,
juicing.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what we're going to be doing, those type of things. And, you know, come on, just come on and go on this journey with us. You know, I'd love for you to meet my wife. Matter of fact, come say hi, sweetheart. Just stick your head in and say hi real quick to Tawanda. She's a nice soul. This is my wife, Dana Reese. She's this my
hero.
and so she's
the dream team.
Yeah, the dream team. And so listen, this woman wouldn't let me give up on myself. And you know, this is a whole nother subject matter, but I have a whole new respect for union.
Mm-hmm.
I have a whole new respect for my sisters. I understand what a helpmeet is.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that how powerful you guys are. I know I'm jumping subject a little bit, but I just understand how powerful you guys are, and I'm really, really grateful for my sisters. And I'm thankful that you would take the time out to even have this conversation with us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had a publishing company try to steal our story.
What?
Yes, a couple, because we've been told we're dealing with a publishing company now, but we've been told that our story is a movie.
Wow.
And they try to take our story, and we've been fighting tooth over heel, just trying to tell people about our story.
Yeah.
Our book has been, we had someone fight us on our book, but that's okay because we just keep right on going.
Right.
Nothing can stop what God has, and you know, He's in control.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? So I don't know.
You can't go against the will of God, so they can try it.
Yeah.
What God has for you, it was already set in motion before the illness. So what's for you is for you.
Right. Yeah. So.
But I'm gonna need you to get that Library of Congress underway and that patent.
Okay. We're working on it. Nice to meet you.
So yeah, we just gotta keep going. Now we tell people to stay away from the dairy, and so we just want people to we want to give people a couple of replacements for a couple of things. Now a lot of people like almond milk.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, almond milk is a hybrid.
Right.
It's not good for you either.
Mm-hmm.
So what we tell people to do, if you want to drink some milk,
Mm-hmm.
then go and get you some coconut milk.
Ew.
I know.
Understand.
Well, get. I'm going to tell you how to do this though.
Okay.
You get you some coconut milk,
Mm-hmm.
Plain, unsweetened coconut milk,
Mm-hmm.
and if you want to have a sweetener, you get agave.
Agave.
Okay. Agave is a natural plant. It's
Mhm.
all natural, and it tastes just as good as syrup
Right.
or any other sweetener. And that's all we use is agave, right? And would you suggest another? Maybe
Y'all don't use oat milk?
oat milk, sweetie? She said.
Oh, no.
No,
Oh, okay.
oats are not.
Okay.
Yeah, no oatmeal, no oats. We want to get away from. We want to get.
They changed the oat
Yeah.
in the last century to make it go faster. So there's a different
It's a
kind of
stimulant.
oat now, so it's not heavy for the
Yeah. We want to get away from the oats. And then if you're gonna eat nuts, okay, we suggest the only nut, especially our culturalistic as far as what's good for us.
Mhm.
The only nut, the original nut, is the walnut and the Brazil nut.
Oh, okay.
My children, my wife naturally fed my children, and my children they never had milk before.
Mm-hmm.
My wife makes her milk out of walnuts.
Wow.
So we have put together different ways to make milk
Mm-hmm.
and out of walnuts and Brazil nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Those nuts are good for you. Walnuts is also good for brain activity. You ever looked at a walnut? It looks like a brain, right?
Yeah.
But that's what it's good for. It's good for your brain activity.
Will
So-
this be in the book as well?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. We have 2 books coming out. The first book is about the journey, about what happened in our journey, and then our other book is about what we did. And all these books will be coming right back to back. They'll be coming real soon. So you gonna be down with us. We're gonna roll together. And then the other thing is what we suggest, especially now. And you said that you work out, and you look pretty healthy, by the way.
Thank you.
And one of the things that we also just suggest is that we eat more raw. We always cook our vegetables. Most people, for years, we've always cooked our vegetables really, really fully done to where like
buttery.
There's no nutrition.
Right.
We should be eating steamed vegetables, and you should be eating as many raw peppers as possible.
Oh, that's different.
Because raw peppers is oxygen for your body.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because your body is nothing but one big pore. That's why we suggest that people change not only what they're eating, but the stuff that they use in their homes. And so I'm just giving you, I'm answering your question a long way, but these are the things that we're going to be doing in our program, is educating people about what they should have in their homes, the type of soap and detergent. You got to remember, when you wash your clothes with certain things, then that's what you're attaching to your pores.
Right.
Well, if it's unhealthy for your pores, then that's going to infect your internal organs.
Right.
You got what I'm saying? If you're drinking the wrong water, you know, this is alkaline water.
Right.
And you can find this water at Whole Foods. And it's a 9.5 pH balance. Well, think of, if you're putting this water on the inside of you, then think about the water that you're showering with that's going inside of your pores.
Right.
Got what I'm saying? So these are all things that we have to work on as a community.
Right.
And we can go out and I can have $1 million, $2-3 million, but if my health is poor,
that's right.
What good is the $1 million? So your health is your wealth.
Right.
And that's what we want people to understand.
Are you guys certified yet?
Well, we're in some trainings right now, but you know, hey, right now, to be honest with you, we didn't even have a certification when we was fighting for my life.
That's right. You had God. That was the certification you needed.
Well, my point is that our system is proven. We have a proven system based off of what happened in my life.
Right.
But we are in some trainings because we understand that question is going to come up. We understand we don't have a problem with things that we got as far as download that we use to fight with my body. And we're not trying to be doctors. We're not trying to be so to say counselors. We're just offering our support based off of what happened in our life to try and help individuals. But I think that's a great question you asked, and that is something that we are also pursuing. We didn't want to become doctors. We're led, and we're looking for people that we want to say we're looking for people that's willing to activate their faith. But we're also willing to help a person that has no faith. Right. And what we've been finding out, those that we've been getting seeked after from people that don't claim to be a person of faith. Wow. More than people of faith, because like you said, people looking, they're trying to find a way. And if you have an answer for somebody that don't have faith, do you think that if we have an answer for life for someone that don't have faith, do you think that they're not going to utilize our information? Right. They're going to utilize it, you know, so. But we're ready. we are so ready. And listen, and I'm saying this, I am so humbled. I mean, they called me in front of it's a really, really large ministry at back in Wisconsin. And the pastor called me up, and I wasn't expecting this at all. You know, they had heard about the miracle that took place. and actually they were a part of the miracle as far as their prayer was concerned, and called me in front of the church, and he said to the people, he said, have you guys ever heard of a miracle in the Bible? And they, you know how people is in church, hallelujah, no, all of that stuff. And he said, well, this man that's standing in front of you today is a modern day miracle. And it hit me that God chose me for a miracle.
Right.
A 21st century miracle. Imagine that. And so that by itself should say something. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at.
He don't consort with anybody when he's looking to show you versus telling you.
That's right. That's right, sister. He ain't got an answer to nobody. And you know, and I think that my story is so we were just on the phone with the publisher, and we did a Zoom with her, and she was crying and stuff.
Wow. About
my story, and she was just saying that that God is so powerful that he could do something like this today. Like God wanted to take my story. He wanted to take 4 months to live and show that that his word was over man's word.
That's right.
Ain't that encouraging?
Right.
Yeah, so you know, I'm
Lazarus.
humble, sis. Huh?
Lazarus.
Don't say that. But I'm very, very humble. And I just like I told Tangi and my wife, and you know, and I just believe that the Lord connected us as well. And I'm just telling all y'all, you know, y'all keep me humble, because that's the way I want to stay. You know, y'all can hold me accountable. I want to be humble, and I want to see, you know how stories like this can blow up, and then a person forget who they are, get caught up in that stuff. Right. And I want to, you know, I pray that the Lord do turn this into a movie, and to free me and my family up to where we can do this full time and just help people and still be well taken care of.
That's right.
You know, and he's that kind of guy.
Right. Well, you just keep his name on your tongue, and everything is gonna work out.
A story like this is turn it into what he wants to turn it into.
That's right.
Huh?
I said you just keep his name on your tongue, and everything's gonna work out the way it's supposed to work out.